Hi, beautiful soul. 3 types of meditations that I use. Anyway, let's get into it. The first kind of meditation is essentially the basic one that most people have done at some point. And it's just to get rid of the monkey mind, the mind chatter. The mind will never stop talking, never stop bothering you. But those meditations, the basic ones, pay attention to the tip of your nose, pay attention to air going in and out of your body, pay attention to air going in and out of your lungs, and focus on your breathing. That's a very basic one. Those are the meditations that you can find online, 10-minute ones, 15-minute ones. I have a long meditation I made for you guys. That's good. I'll probably upload it when I get back home today, and I'll schedule it up online for you guys to enjoy. It's over an hour. So that's number one, the basic one, dealing with the monkey mind. Number 2 is something I talked about in the previous video. Visualizations. This was a meditation that was recommended by Ra, the 6th density being. And they gave an example of the rose or a shape. For me, I imagine a triangle facing up with my eyes closed, and then a triangle right on top of that facing down. So creating the heart center symbol. Heart's the doorway between the bottom 3 centers and the top 3 centers. That's why there's a triangle facing up and a triangle facing down. It's the door between the animal side of you and the halo side of you, the divine side of you. And I went into detail of some of the benefits of the visualizations. Initially, it's not that easy when you have to hold, spin around, play with, attention to details of that particular visualization that you might be doing. But it increases your attention span, allows you to listen to people, focus on your work, get into flow state. Even when you're walking, hiking, you can turn it into a walking meditation. And as a consequence, it helps you manifest. Helps you manifest faster. For those of you that are interested in manifestation. At some point in spirituality, you don't have a desire of manifestation. You simply want life to flow through you, your higher self to drive you, and everything you need just shows up anyway. I gave up everything in life. Everything. I don't know how long that's going to continue, but I don't have any desires anymore. I just want to meditate. No matter what I'm doing, I want to turn it into meditation. You can't do that when you're running a business, when you have a career, too many responsibilities. Can't do that. So I gave it all up. For some time anyway. A couple of years maybe. Who knows? So that's number 2, meditation. Now, number 3 is a meditation that I do pretty much every day. It's part of my morning routine. It's contemplation meditation. What does that mean? Now, with my morning coffee, I read or listen to books. I just pick a beautiful spot, a hiking ground, a lake, a beautiful view, watch the sunrise come up. I enjoy watching the sunrise come up. I enjoy watching the sunsets go down. There's just something about the sunsets and sunrises in Texas that's just so beautiful. The colors in the sky are so unique. I don't remember ever seeing these. Anyway, contemplation meditation. So in my morning routine, I listen to or read books. And I do that for maybe about an hour, never more than that. And after that, I'll go for a walk, or I'll simply just stay in the emptiness of mind, being awareness. And what that does is it allows me to get downloads. It allows me to get clarity from my higher self, from source. You don't have to do that after you're reading. If you read with a very empty mind, with full awareness in the present moment, you'll be able to read between the lines. You'll be able to understand things, stories that aren't even in the book. They just sort of come to you. So contemplation meditation, in my opinion, is extremely important for everyone to be able to practice. How long have you been meditating? How has your life changed since you have been meditating, you've been on this path? Something to think about as you go about your day. If you look at the world as much as possible from the eyes of a baby, where you pretend you don't know anything as you look at things, your curiosity over time will increase. Your programming starts to dissolve. You're no longer controlled by your mind programming. Somebody once told me if your friend wants to break up with you, your lover want to break up with you, your relationships end at work, family, anyone, there are 3 ways to deal with it. There are about 3 ways to deal with it. First, you can be very aggressive, say horrible things, fingers go up, slam the door, and you just leave, or they leave. The second way you can deal with it is destruction, revenge, pain you want to cause to other people. You want to do damage. You want to ask for favors. Call people around to see how much damage you can do to get favors to do damage to this person. First two are very common. The third way is you sort of smile, you accept it, and you wish them well. The third way, I like that. Keeps you from hurting yourself, getting yourself sick, and in the future, you need to not only forgive them, you need to forgive yourself for being that horrible version of you, less desired version of you. Life is way more simple than you think. It's your mind, your ego, your programming that has made life seem so difficult. In the book, The Law of One, when they were talking to the Ra contact, when they were channeling Ra, there were things that they would ask Ra, and the Ra would say, I can't answer that because it's infringement on the law of confusion. Now initially, the cool thing about that book was, as they were having a conversation with Ra, I would have questions of my own based on the information that Ra was providing. And it was nice that most of those questions did get answered down the line. So the law of confusion, what is that? Have you ever, there's frustrations in life, there's things that bother you because you can't figure them out. You want to figure out financial problems, you want to figure out your health problems, you want to figure out your weight issues, you want to figure out relationship with your family, friends, co-workers. Ra would call them other selves. Having interactions with other selves. Because everyone is simply a different incarnation of you. And don't get attached to the word incarnation if you don't believe in incarnation, reincarnation. If you don't believe in it, just consider them a different version of you. So the law of confusion pushes you to learn. And sometimes the law of confusion has to, turn the volume up for some people, most people, in order to bother them enough for them to take some steps, take some risks. There are no mistakes. Imagine, if you will, that you have never done anything wrong, ever. According to masters, according to Ra, according to the beings from higher dimensions, they keep reminding us there are no mistakes. There's nothing you can ever do wrong. There are positive things people do. There are positive evolution and there's negative one. Doesn't make one or the other side wrong, except it's not a fun path in the negative direction. It's just not you won't enjoy it. and you want to have some fun along the way. You're stuck with yourself for eternity. The law of confusion and the law of free will, those are the two laws that the Ra was very careful not to infringe on when they were providing answers. Imagine somebody breaks up with you, or imagine you lose your job, or one of your siblings stops talking to you, and you accept it as it is. You don't want to beg, you don't want to fight, you don't want to explain yourself. You simply look at it detached from your ego and mind, and you just wonder, well, that happens too. I'm a human, this is a human experience, and nothing lasts forever other than you, your beingness. Your life will last forever. You're eternal, fundamentally. But no experience lasts forever. So you can't be with somebody and expect that to last forever. It might last a whole lifetime. You might enjoy that. And then when you shed this body, then it ends. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he wasn't getting along with his sibling. And it just came to my mind, and I told him, I said, we all made contracts with everyone that we interact with before we came here. I was like, imagine you aren't born yet, okay? You're just a soul, spirit up there somewhere. And then you and your friends got together, and you guys decided to come back to Earth as humans. And you guys decided who's going to be the mom, who's going to be the dad, who's going to be the siblings, who's going to be the life partner, wife, all this. And then you come here, and then you don't get along with them. But if you just keep that in mind, if you just pretend that this is just your friend, that you guys decided to have this experience, it gives you space, a detached space to forgive people. It gives you detached space to have patience. It gives you detached space to view other people's actions as not right or wrong. They just are. And it allows you to not judge them. It's so freeing when you don't judge anybody. It is also so freeing when other people judge you, hate you, try to ruin your name, or, say things about you. And you don't care. Right? Imagine, let's say somebody didn't get along with me, and they decided to go around to tell everybody how horrible I am. But if I don't care what other people think about me, or how they judge me, or whether or not they're in my life, or whether or not they would like to communicate with me, stay in touch with me, do things with me, if I stay completely detached from any outcome, what it does is it keeps the harmonious equilibrium within my centers. So it keeps my centers very, very aligned. And every center, the Ra uses the word crystalline, that those centers, the way they spin, the way they solidify, the way they crystallize each energy centers, as it gets very, very harmonious, as you completely liberate yourself. It makes you a very high frequency being. And the higher your frequency goes, the more you evolve, the more your experiences evolve. You'll still be on the same planet as everybody else, but your experience of life would be completely different. Last year, I gave my house and my cars, my belongings, everything to my parents, to my brothers. The only thing I own in life are the clothes that I have. That's it. And I have been so free ever since. Yeah, I'll borrow the car. My parents, my brothers, they have 6 cars. So there's a lot of cars, and so I'll still drive my cars and enjoy them. But everything belongs to them. And I keep going, I keep traveling, I keep seeing masters, I keep going to these places and monasteries, and I keep meditating, and I'm going to continue doing that more. And the reason I gave up everything is because I want to be able to go to Nepal. I want to be able to go to Himalayas. Maybe starting this year, maybe starting next year, I'm not sure. But I want to start traveling the world and I have a list of places that I would like to go to and meditate in those places. And just have some experiences. Like a baby in a new planet. Completely free from societal norms and expectations. Just live a completely different life. Have a completely different point of view. You know, when you don't expect anything from yourself, you stop having expectations from other people. And then when you see people from that point of view, when you interact with them from there, you're so generous. You're so humble. The divine in them will touch the divine in you. And you'll have unbelievable interactions, unbelievable experiences with people. You'll be so giving, you'll be so generous, you'll be so carefree. And the more you do that, the higher your frequency goes. We're very high frequency beings, but we have contracted through programmings, through identification with things and people and labels and names and, your last name, and you talk about legacy, and, you pretend that your last name is better than other people's last name, and your legacy is better than their legacy, and you get stuck in those things. All of your agreements. Free yourself from it. There's a person I was talking to, and he said he wants to become nothing. So he said, if I become zero, if I become nothing, I will also become everything. And he explained it to me. He's a very smart man. And he was explaining that everything belongs between 0 and infinity, not including the negative parts. But everything belongs between 0 and infinity, or 0 and negative infinity, whatever you want to call it. But either way, if 0 and infinity, and then there's things between it, that means infinite and 0 create a loop. So if you become 0, you can also become infinite. And we are infinite beings, right? So when you become nothing, Buddha said, if you desire when you get to a desireless state, when suddenly you desire nothing, everything starts to desire you. You will change the energy in the room that you walk into. Why? Because you're not expecting anything. You don't care about anything. You're just there as the divine you. You're going to accept everyone, everything as it is. No contraction, no judgments, no anger, no drama. And when you get to that space, it makes you very quiet. That's why I simplified my life to just having clothes. I really enjoy being quiet. I don't like a lot of human interaction. I'm in a phase, I'm sure it's just a phase, but I'm in a phase of life where there's too much to explore, there's too much to study, there's too much to contemplate on. But also there's energetic play that is happening that I want to learn, right? I want to learn how to materialize in real time. I want to learn I want to learn telepathy. There's a lot of things that I want to learn that can only be understood, discovered, practiced by going inward, deeper and deeper and deeper. And that needs space and requires a lot of space and time, because we chose to be here in space and time, right? So unfortunately it takes time. But then the cool thing is, sometimes in deeper and deeper meditations, you'll step outside of space-time. And then you can have those experiences before you come back here. There's so much to do, so much to see, so much to understand. Ra also said, as we evolve into fourth density, fifth density, sixth density, the language will disappear. And when we get to beings where language is not the means of communication, that's when true wisdom comes. That's when we will have the clarity that sometimes you see masters having. That's the clarity of the angels, the divine that you'll have. So there's a lot ahead for us. Let me know your thoughts.